Another person who's obviously had to sort of stop, reassess where he's at is obviously Tszyu with the Charlo injury happening 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday. Your take on that, George, because you've actually been in the same situation where you were going to fight Lopez originally on June the 5th. We went to June the 19th. He got tested to COVID. Then we went to potential fight in September. My point being, it dragged on for 3 and 4 and 5 months. You and your team stayed patient, won all the belts, which no Australian's ever done before. Your thoughts on what Tszyu should do and what do you think he will do? And any advice on that?
Yeah, look, I've been there, not only for the Lopez fight, but for the Selby fight as well. We're in the midst of COVID, when COVID broke out, and I had to fly back home, fly from Miami with my family, my kids, to get back to Australia in the midst of COVID. That took many months for that fight to happen, so just consistently just training, just as a relentless, dog, just to keep training. Same with the Lopez fight. So many dates. I think we had 7 or 8 dates. I think it was
we
set a
dates.
record. I think that's a record in
it was.
In boxing where you've had so many dates. It's never been done before. Our side just kept working, kept grinding, kept that relentless, dogging us. That, like I said many times, even after the fight, even if the fight was going to be another year on top, waiting. Just going to keep that routine. I went for everything in that camp. I lost my grandfather, had the birth of my son. A lot of people forget that. They bring up, he brings up his excuses. Well, I could have easily brought up my excuses, but I don't. I took that as motivation and kept grinding through whatever I had to, whatever date. They told me a date, no problem. They told me another date, no problem. Whatever happened with Triller, all right, it is what it is. We're going through law cases and lawsuits, no worries. Get the lawyers onto it. It's costing us this much money, alright, it is what it is. People don't realise from the outside how tough this game is. It's tough inside the ring, especially for a lot of guys that have never been inside them ropes. It's bloody tough. But outside of the ring and in the sport, it gets tough as well.
What does Tszyu do? But getting back to the question, does he fight in March to keep busy and dump all that energetic work ethic that he's been busting his ass for a while? What does he do? Does he wait? Does he wait or does he fight? What would you do? You waited.
Yeah, look.
But your contract was different, wasn't it?
It was different. I was on a purse bid, so you had to continue waiting, and we're locked in. Contracts are locked in for a purse bid that it was going to be that fight.
Yeah.
Now his is a different situation. He's not on a purse bid. It's been negotiated. So look, he's probably going to fight. He's probably going to take the risk. I don't know who he's going to fight. I don't know what kind of risky fight he's going to take, but he's going to fight. Good on him. And just wait for Charlo to heal up with a hand, and then go from there. That's what it is. I would have loved to fight as well.
You would have?
On that June 5th, I was asking, all right, who can we get? Can we fight for the interim, a vacant?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Put something up on the line. But at that stage, I needed to fight as well. I was at the stage where I needed the money back then. It was at a point where it's like, if I ain't fighting, I ain't feeding my kids and family. And I've already been in camp for 10, 11 weeks here in Miami. It's already cost me a bomb. I didn't have that big backing behind me. I didn't have that massive media presence. Tell it how it is. I didn't have mainstream media behind me in Australia until I won the belts. Then they started knocking on the door. I didn't even turn my back on them. A lot of them, I should have turned my back on them, but I didn't. So we'll see what he does. And that's his problem at the end of the day. Wish him all the best, but for me, I'm focused on continuing what I'm doing in 2023, and I'm the biggest name in Australian boxing, so keep doing what we're doing. But for them, if they're going to fight, so be it.
We talked about that presence and that celebrity status today. You're at a cricket match. Obviously, the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger, but you were stopped for like 10, 15 minutes. I know, George, you've said in the past, I think it's a normal thing, but a lot of the cricket people, I didn't expect them to know who you were. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy, young kids, when they're actually saying Kambosos.
Yeah, it's everywhere, Nick. It's crazy. You know, I go to the shops for an hour to get a few things. It becomes a 2-hour, 3-hour, you know, shopping trip because
you stop for them all.
I stop for everybody. I take a photo with everybody, and you know, people have seen certain sides of me. You know, trying to promote a fight, trying to hype a fight, trying to mentally get under the skin of a fighter. But you know, when it comes to the real life, the real, you know, who I am, day in, day out, I stop it with everybody. Take a photo with everybody. Have a chat with everybody. And I go to the shops. I take 30, 40 photos. It's like I said, I'm very humbled by it. How can I complain? You know, regardless of wins and losses, when you got so much support in your own country, you know, it's something to be very proud of, and we'll continue making these guys proud that support me and follow me.